Hello, everyone. I'm Casey, manager of the customer success team here at Vanta. You all have been asking more about policies, more questions about policies, how to get through them when you first get started with Vanta, and we've listened. So in our first round of our compliance deep dive, we will be talking through our SOC 2 and ISO policy stack. And here with me today, I have Matt Cooper, who is our in-house security expert. He's going to help us tackle all of our policy questions and best practices. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Matt, little introduction, and then we'll start with code of conduct.
Thank you, Caitlin. Hey, folks, Matt Cooper, internal compliance expert. As Caitlin said, we're ready to jump into our policy deep dive.
Amazing. All right, Matt, code of conduct. Give me the high level TLDR of what this policy is.
All right, code of conduct. So this is establishing appropriate conduct in your organization. This is an important control for SOC 2. It's totally fine and a good control if you're doing ISO. It's just a good best practice, right? To have ethical guidelines in your organization, but it is not needed for ISO, and ISO doesn't really care that much about it. However, SOC 2 does. If we look at the SOC 2 criteria that it's trying to fulfill, it's the first one. It's CC 1.1. The entity demonstrates a commitment to integrity and ethical values. And then one of the points of focus there, one of the ways to do that is to establish standards of conduct and then evaluate adherence to those standards of conduct. That's what the code of conduct is satisfying. If we talk about the content of the code of conduct, here you have a lot of flexibility to make something that works for your organization. So nothing in this document is required. You can change anything you want. One of the things about audit that I often say is when the auditor is coming in to look at a control, it's oftentimes somewhat binary. Do you have a code of conduct that reasonably seems like it's setting, ethical and conduct guidelines? Boom, you do, you have it, you pass. That's good, right? People accepted it. That'll be the other part of the test of this control. It's far less important what are your exact ethical guidelines. They might not even really read it. They're just going to skim through the document and be like, yeah, this looks like a code of conduct. Did people sign it? Okay, good. We're done. Move on to the next thing. So I'm going to leave it there. Every business is different. It's a great control. It's very important and a super way to satisfy CC 1.1 if you're SOC 2.
Got it. Thanks, Matt. So it sounds really like it's something that is a best practice to have, but not necessarily that an auditor is going to skim through this thing and look at every single section of it to make sure that it's all being followed. It's more of, do you have it and is it being accepted by your employees? So I guess from that, if somebody is going through this code of conduct and they see like, okay, well, we don't really follow that compliance with laws or honest and ethical conduct, it's okay to remove that then. It's not necessarily something that they have to keep or start doing.
Well, Caitlin, I love that example because if you tell me you're not following compliance with laws, that's one place where I might actually slow you down and say, really, what illegal stuff do you guys want to do as part of your code of conduct? So just playing with you here. But yes, if you're not doing a specific thing, we can want to scroll down and see what else might be relevant. However, I would say this is often a very principles-based document. It's not like hard requirements. Where you'd find those more hard requirements related to this would typically be in an acceptable use policy, where it's like, don't run Wireshark, don't do these very tactical, specific things. And that's where I would expect more folks to, want to quibble with the details. Here it's like you're going to be ethical, you're going to be honest, you're not going to bribe people, stuff like that. Again, it's pretty high level. So it's not like it's going to be probably rigorously tested. No insider trading, follow laws, stuff like that.
Cool. All right. Pretty straightforward. Thanks, Matt.